Hola. You're listening to Can't Read, Can't Write. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Can't Read, Can't Write, the podcast that proves Spartans can talk. I'm Mike Jones, joined as sometimes by Easter enthusiast Alex Plum. Not
Hi.
on brand with our opening.
He is risen indeed. Praise be to Allah. They say.
Was he also?
I don't know.
Missing?
I don't know. Did he go into a tomb? I don't know much about Islam. Maybe some of the leaders. Well, yeah, someone. Anyway, oh yikes! I don't know about his resurrection. Easter was great. We went to church. It was lovely. Church was so full, and we were running late because we hosted Jason's family today that we had to sit in the front because it was the only seats open, and the sound, the music doesn't really hit the front corner. We're kind of in a dead zone, so it made it a little weird. But you know what? It was okay. It was really, everything was fine and great, and we had a great time, and we get to see the family and ate entirely too much food. I barbecued, first barbecue cookout of the year. It was great. Jason made potato salad. All of it was really very nice. And Yali, most importantly, didn't have a seizure. So that was really, as things go. How about you? You guys do the it was a win. You guys do the egg thing? Did you dress up as some demented looking Easter bunny to terrify your child?
Yeah, I went full Donnie Darko on the situation. The Easter bunny left some eggs around the house.
Inside the house. Good. So it has a key. That's nice.
Well, leprechauns, Santa, that all B&E artists.
Great. Yeah, that is true. Actually, it's a good thing.
But yeah, it was good. I made some flank steak. I also opened up the grill for the first time, I think, since winter. It was a lovely day.
Well, too bad shitty shitter fucking Kevin couldn't be here to tell us how his daughter's first Easter was of blessed year. I don't know where he fucking thinks he was supposed to be today, but not here with us.
Don't you have responsibilities at church?
Probably, but I still get my ass to the pod.
Well, no, I mean, you just said you were late. Aren't you a deacon or something?
Yeah.
Okay. I just assumed you had to be there early.
Not on Easter. No.
Oh, you're sort of a B leader.
Yeah, no, I'm inferior, very inferior. Yes, 1000% inferior. Yeah, no, they don't. Yeah, no. I'm like the backup on the low holidays, like Christ the King Sunday. Who? What? So
is that a holy day?
That is a thing. Yeah, we don't really. It's really, I think it's more Catholic than Methodist, but it is in the liturgy. So
it's an unadvertised
anyway.
Holiday.
It's exactly right. Yeah, no one's coming for that one.
Well, of course, we want to thank everyone for listening. And if we could ask a small favor, please share the pod with Spartans in your life. Rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get podcasts. And of course, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Spartan_pod. We're very active. And at Blue Sky at SpartanPod. Plum, do you want to give people a rundown of what we're going to talk about this week?
I do. As we had said in one iteration of the introduction, today we'll be doing teenage boys, just boys, and they've got to be teenagers from now until fucking August. No, we're going to go behind the green ball where football is back to leading because we've got spring practices to dissect and the young men to pick over. We'll do a retrospective on the basketball season, including some thoughts from yours truly on lessons we might take away from both UConn and Michigan as I vomit into my mouth and eat it up again. We might even preview the portals before briefly surveying gymnastics, going off Grand River to scream into the ether about Matt Ishbia's ineptitude before taking your social media questions.
Okay, let's head behind that green wall. And yeah, it's as of the 31st. I'm not sure if they would have had one since then, but 7 of 15 practices for the spring completed. I took the care of listening to media availability so that no one else had to. And
Generous.
to be honest, there are some concerning things. We, of course, know that there are 29 new transfers into Michigan State and 14 coming out of high school. We talked about that last week. I think we were all a little worried that there weren't enough offensive linemen when the portal wrapped up.
Right.
And there's apparently only 7 of them that are healthy right now. And so they may not be able to scrimmage at all. Deeply concerning stuff. Other things that are concerning is when being asked about progress, there's a lot of talk about, they're getting better. They know where to go on the drills. I appreciate that it's a largely new roster and a new staff.
And are they all new to football? Is this are they like for lacrosse players that sort of transitioned over?
Yes, it's very much what you're doing in officiating.
Oh, goody. What could go wrong?
Indeed. I don't know. It's not very encouraging, though. I'll say that. And so,
golly,
honestly, the over/under next year is at 3.5, and I've not heard a peep out of anything so far that would indicate that we should be hitting the over.
Yeah.
So,
I think
the spring showcase didn't have high hopes that it would be particularly illustrative of talent on the team, and it sounds like there's even more reason to believe that it will not be illustrative of anything if the offensive line is unwell.
I mean, can we just say that Fitz's stated priority on relationships is not something that is brokering any sort of confidence? It's sort of like, what? I mean, unless they're all doing the fucking car wash with each other, I don't really know what we're going to be gaining from this. At least if it's disturbingly, sexualized, there's something potentially that could come. But the challenge, and obviously I'm being facetious, I probably have to say that now out loud, but my God, this idea that the biggest area we've improved collectively is just our relationships. The word just is doing a lot of very heavy fucking lifting there. Because to your point, if only 7 or 8 players are fully healthy on the offensive line, what are we talking about? What are we actually even doing? So I don't know, man.
It's not great. Not great.
I don't want to see anything about relationships improving. I want to see about knowledge of plays, ability to play. Playing.
Yeah, I'm very comfortable with them all hating each other. I don't care if they like each other.
The fastest way to improve relationships is to win. It turns out, to be good at a thing, to be so good that you make your colleagues also look good, so that together your winning is improving outcomes and earning potential and future draft stock, all of it on the up and up. You can't really get there by playing patty cake ass and having bonds on Friday night over Pete. I mean, it's just not. And here I am decrying this because, of course, I'm the first schmuck to be like, relationships really matter. Human capital is where it's at. But it's like, well, I mean, yeah, but there's got to be a product there to build from. No asshole's building a team of inveterate boobs and then being like, but we get along great. Right. We're just friends.
Yeah, who I don't think cares about and probably never talked about relationships? And I don't have proof of this. Someone could easily disprove me, but I have a guess.
Yeah.
Kurt Cignetti never talked about people getting along.
No. I mean, they got along with him and his, or I should say they get along with him and his fucking play calling and planning. Get with the program or get the fuck out. And that's what we need from this guy. And I think Fitz is a little, well, let's see. I don't fucking know. I don't know, man. I'm afraid he might be a schmuck too.
I'm not saying that Cignetti's way is the only way, but
it works.
Yeah, it does. All right, let's do let's do some final thoughts on the basketball season.
We didn't talk about any teenage boys. Are there any boys that we want to be able to mention, or do we not have any updates? I lied about the teenagers.
You sort of lied about the teenagers and that I didn't put them on the outline, but we can. You know what? Let's do it. Let's just go ahead and see how far down. First of all, this will be a fun game we can do live. How far down the team rankings is Michigan State on the 2027 class? Let's see.
God help us. Oh boy.
Oh, not too bad. 31. Okay. We've got 5 3-star commitments. Let's just go ahead and we have Jack Carrison out of Brighton, Michigan, 6'7", 250, 89 or a 3-star, 36th offensive tackle in the country and 7th in the state. We also have Grant Adloff, another 3-star, positionally as an interior offensive line number 41 and 11th in the state. We've got an Eli Stumpf, who's a quarterback, 6'4", 185, also a 3-star. Positionally 43rd and 29th in the state of Ohio. And then I think the most recent one is Tyre Clark.
Maybe.
He's a safety, 5'10", 190 out of Jersey City, New Jersey, and had an okay offer list, I guess. We got some Boston College, Cincinnati, Penn State, and Vanderbilt. So there's that. Those are all exciting things.
Could be worse, Michael. I think.
Maybe.
I mean, 30, what'd you say, 30, 31? 30 could be a lot worse. 34. So it could be a lot worse, I think is a fair way to say it.
And it has been. So that's our teenage boy roundup. I think what we should do probably is in June, once official visit season is over, we should just maybe comb through the class at that point in time and see what the potential is. I do know that they've got a number of 4-stars coming onto campus here in the coming days and weeks. So maybe we land some of those.
Yeah.
Okay. Hoops.
Hoopsies.
I'm curious.
Hoopsie doopsies.
Now that we've had a minute, and now I should say we've had a minute to reflect on losing, but the thing is that it's not gotten any easier because Michigan is still in the dance. And in fact is playing for a national title tomorrow.
It's silly.
So I don't know that I'm feeling any better, I'll just say, but the idea was that, with a little distance, maybe a little perspective, what did the season match your expectations going in, exceed or fall short?
I had set an Elite Eight expectation, and so we didn't quite get there, though close-ish. We didn't perform in the Sweet 16 the way I had expected us to. So
sure, we played for 31 minutes, and UConn played for 40. So,
and it turns out, yeah. And of course, if we hit all of our free throws, as we talked about last week, we would have actually won, and we would be in the Elite Eight, maybe in the Final Four, and maybe in the national championship. Who knows? But point being, we didn't play our best basketball. And so to that perspective, no, this season did not meet expectations because we saw glimpses of what we were capable of throughout the season. And if we had played that kind of basketball, indeed, we would be playing tomorrow night.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
That's a bummer. What about you?
We got some interesting news out of just because someone who would have helped this team a great deal. Tom Izzo said on a radio show that he had a player texting him regularly about the decision, regretting his decision to leave Michigan State. Didn't name names, but we all know who it is. Trey Holloman would have made a big difference on this team. And I do think that's one of those things that, big old bummer.
Well, this is where Tom Izzo needs to do everyone a favor and delete Trey Holloman's number. Trey Holloman needs to go jump off of a very fucking high bridge because that's the kind of shit that drives me batty. Fucking kid chased the dollars. It did not work out for him. Shame on him. Shame on him. And fuck off. Not a Spartan. Bah. Humbug. Infuriating. Utterly infuriating. Yeah. I mean, the numbers at the end of the season are not, they're not bad. 25-6 is not a bad regular season.
Second in the Big Ten.
Yeah. 15-5 in the Big Ten. Some of those were close. Some of them weren't. We didn't perform in the tournament. That didn't matter. No one cared. The 2 seed might've been preferential. Obviously watching Illinois get utterly boobled was a silly thing. They were so outmatched and never should have even been there. But that's what happens when you get put in the easiest fucking regional. And that's a position we'll never be placed in because the selection committee loves to fuck us always in regionals that are just stacked with the goddamn blue bloods, which is why when people say we're not a blue blood, I'm like, eat my ass. Because inevitably we are stuck in the fucking regional with Duke and God knows who else every fucking year. So whatever, it doesn't really matter because, again, these things are inconsequential. When we play our basketball, we win. And this team, under the harried and unsteady leadership of Jeremy Fierce, was incapable of doing that with any consistency. Again, I say shame.
So what you've got some thoughts on lessons to be learned from UConn and
it's just
our enemies down the road.
So to people who say that this is a political podcast, everything in life is political. Shut the fuck up. That's one. Two, I have a subscription not only to the Times, which isn't really even a bastion of progressivism as much as people like to think it is, but also to the Wall Street Journal. And I gleaned a lot from the Wall Street Journal this week. And look at me.
You're so brave.
With my progressive and independent bona fides.
You're a big CBS stan too.
Really love Barry Weiss only because she's such a meaty lesbian. Let's talk UConn for a second. I just say this because the Journal had some interesting perspective both on Dusty May and how he's winning. I wanted to say awful things about him, and I'm going to refuse to. And Dan Hurley at UConn. So let's start with UConn. This is interesting to me. So he coached. Well, he came to UConn from Florida Atlantic. In 2018, Florida Atlantic had not won in their whole history.
Dan Hurley or Dusty May?
Dan Hurley. Dan Hurley. Sorry, UConn. Dan Hurley was at FAU. Am I wrong?
Wait, I thought Dusty May was at FAU.
Yes, he is. I got confused. Sorry. Who am I? Okay, hold on. I got my notes mixed up. You're right, Dusty May. But I'm starting with Dan Hurley. So let me rescind my remarks. Since 2018, 2018 is the similarity for both of them. That's where I got confused. Dan Hurley has had a top 5 recruiting class only once since 2018. Sure. This says something because this guy's up, if we're lucky tomorrow, he's going to three-peat in 4 years. And he's doing that on the backs of kids that are not expressly above average. And I don't know that he's plucking them all out of obscurity per se. But the Journal pointed this out. He looks for 2 things in his players. One, they have to fit a specific role in the offensive plays and rotations that he has. And this is where his American Psycho level of detailed organization and utter narcissistic pathological psychopathy come into a great effect. This is a man who is devoid of nurturing human connection because he is so focused on regimental. So his associate head coaches and stuff in 22, he comes in with a new curriculum. They said it was like a binder. They're like, we're not going to be able to memorize this. I don't know how the fuck you think these players are going to be able to memorize this. And Hurley just looked at them with cold black eyes, no color, just black, soulless, devil-filled eyes on Easter, no less. And he said, yes, they will. And so that's the first thing. They have to fit the rotation. And the second thing is they have to be able to withstand the verbal abuse. Now, this is how you know he's insane. And they say it is awful. Now, we joke about throwing toasters at players in an SNL send-up featuring Melissa McCarthy from some years ago. But in fact, no, I believe he may be doing it. forcing them to do wind sprints, puking on the court, sprints up and down the arena stairs, and it's working. And so, to people who say, well, you really shouldn't physically abuse the players, I say, but look at, he's winning national championships. And this is all we want as fans of sports. So right way, wrong way, Dan Hurley is doing it his way. And there are lessons in regiment. And I point this out specifically because it took Izzo 10 minutes, a quarter of that fucking game, to figure out the play calling that Hurley was doing that was getting a guy wide open for a three every other fucking play. It was how they got to 19 points ahead on us. And
also, us not scoring for 9 minutes
didn't help. Didn't help that Fears and nobody seemed to be able to get into the fucking paint. But point being, we're known for defense, and they broke us on play calling, and that play calling was scripted. And they were moving all over the fucking place. And we were bopping into each other and knees akimbo as we're falling on the ground, unable to manage our guys. That is tactical expertise. So that's the lesson on UConn. Michigan. For people who say that you cannot be successful if you're on the autism spectrum, I have to say to you, yes, you can. And Dusty May is the proof of this. And I mean this in all sincerity because listen, neither of these two coaches are good humans. I want to be explicit about that. I mean, from Dan Hurley going nose to nose with an official, which is cuckoo LaRue, utter bananas. You've got Dusty May here who sits in front of student sections kind of soaking in the vitriol like a child, like a bullied seventh grader whose parents are bazillionaires, I guess, and just knows he's going to be fine and somehow likes to relish in it. I don't know how you describe it.
I described him as someone who worked on the Death Star and liked it.
Yeah, that sounds right. Who actually liked to get choked by Darth Vader every once in a while and with the telepathy. Yeah, it's not good. The guy is a perfect fit for Michigan. He came to Michigan from Florida Atlantic, and in Florida Atlantic when he got there in 2018, between there and 2023, FAU had never had a single tournament win. And by 2023, of course, he took them to the Final Four. Of course, as they were getting poached, he also got poached by the world's largest athletic director to Michigan. And there he went. There and to complete the analogy, that's well done you. And there he went. And let's just remember where Michigan was in Dusty May's first season in 2024. They had a coach who was known best for his physical assaults of his colleagues in the cabinet of Big Ten coaching. So that was really expressive and beautiful. But more importantly than that, Michigan had already just lost 24 of their last 32 fucking games, 75% of their games. And the Journal had this factoid here. The first team in the history of the NCAA tourney to go from losing 75% of its games to reaching the championship games just 2 seasons later. That statistic alone tells you that this guy is an idiot savant who is good at, probably more than one thing if we're being really generous, but one thing specifically, he knows how to identify talent. And he's done this. He's came up under the Bobby Knight coaching tree. He has worked for some small programs. He's worked for very underfunded programs, FAU being one of them. And he knows how to identify underdeveloped talent. But it's the key on underdeveloped. It is developable. And you're seeing this. I mean, Mara or whatever the fuck, the 7'12" guy who came with him from FAU or did he come from, no, it came from UCLA. And Yaxel Landelborg and Glorgan Florg, who came from, of all places, UAB. But, we hoped, we were wrong, of course, but we had hoped and thought that somehow Mel Tucker had this gift because he had identified in Kenneth Walker III this gift to college football, who, was utterly beautiful and poetic. Of course, he didn't have that talent. And, a broken clock can be right twice a day. But Dusty May is, I think, better than a broken clock here and has been able to achieve something exceptional. And I would love to be wrong on this, and I would love for every other season that follows to be an utter clusterfuck. But assuming that he actually does know how to build a roster, he has lessons for what we have to be doing. And Team Borovich here. I need John Borovich to learn from Dusty May and to get into the portal and to help Uncle Tom be able, please, to do the one fucking thing we need, which is to identify some guys who can be developed, who aren't going to get weirdly, prematurely, awkwardly, badly balding and then try to chase the dollars in North Carolina, who are going to stay and see the leadership process through. I've got to have it. And it's about quality of character, but even more than that, and as we've said earlier about fuck the relationships, it's about capacity to play and to win. So anyway, those are the lessons. I've said them in far too many words. Apologies for that. But there's something here. And this is, I think, why, from the regimentalism of the UConn to the sheer talent, and credit to Dusty. I fucking hate to say it, but credit to Dusty May for the talent he's put together, because it should be an exciting game tomorrow that I will not be watching because I am a baby.
I want to acknowledge someone in the chat right now, Barry Eats Bush, who clearly we're going to get some hate watchers. Barry, the reason we don't like Dusty is because he coaches at Michigan. Stop being stupid. We didn't like Juwan either.
No. Hold on. But to be fair, I like John Beilein. I did like John Beilein. I liked John Beilein. I thought John Beilein was great. And guess what? I know, but I'm just saying, I liked him. He was a sensible guy. He didn't have antics. He showed up and he did the work. The thing I don't like about Dusty May is the thing I didn't like about Juwan Howard. Their antics. Their crazy, wacky, drama-filled bullshit antics. Juwan Howard was mentally unstable, just like Sharon Moore is evidently mentally unstable. Character, when you call yourself the leaders and the best, character matters. And so you can't hire lunatics like this who I'm not even going to get, but slap another coach in the face. So that's insane. But I'll just tell you, Dusty May, I probably could have been on the fence and I didn't give a fuck, but Dusty May sitting in front of the student section, basking in the opprobrium and vitriol. You've never seen a Division I coach do something like that. Not someone with integrity, not someone who's and I know he's having fun. No, you just look around. You're here to coach. Just focus on the coaching. That is such a weird, you're not their friend. It's a weird kind of, you don't know how to talk to human beings. And if Tom Izzo doesn't like you, and Tom Izzo likes everybody, Tom Izzo respects coaches. And that's the reason why Tom Izzo is probably the most respected coach in coaching. It's because he's just a all-American Midwestern fucking guy.
Oh, yeah.
And this idea that even Tom Izzo can't stand him, there's something wrong with Dusty May. But again, credit to him. I'm not taking the credit away from him. I've just spent many minutes.
He's just slimy and gross and weird.
He's a slimy, gross fucking guy. So that's it. Yeah. But no, I'm going to undercut you on that just because it's Michigan. I like John Beilein. So. And I was rooting for Sharon Moore. I was actually rooting for Sharon Moore.
But you didn't like when Beilein was in the national championship because you didn't want them to win it.
Of course not, but it wasn't personal. I just hated Michigan.
Right, exactly. Okay. Basketball, some more. The portal opens on Tuesday. Tom has indicated he expects everybody to be back. So that means we're losing for sure Kohler, Cooper, Fort, and Sanders.
No, he's actually convinced they're all coming back too. He asked the president for a waiver. So we'll be getting another praise Allah tweet soon with a seventh year waiver for those ones. It'll be good.
I mean,
you'd take it. No you'd fucking take. I knew you'd take it.
Yeah. It's sort of like there's a couple things that the president could do that I'd be like, okay,
just a couple.
Student loans, okay, let's do it.
Well, that'll never happen. Sorry.
No. But
gotta pay for this war.
It appears that Fears almost certainly is going to be back. Carr should be back as well. Nothing indicating they're leaving anyway. Caleb Glenn, of course, was sidelined for the entire year. and will be back next year.
Rip.
Which, I mean, that would have been some nice wing shooting to have.
Yeah.
The problem is that, well, not problem, but the good thing is we have Carlos Medlock Jr. coming in to play point guard minutes, and he's for sure going to find himself on the court. We have Jervis coming in at the 2 guard, who will also for sure find himself on the court. Taylor.
Sorry to interrupt you. It's just dawning on me as soon as you said point guard minutes. I'm like, oh, to back up who? And then I was like, oh, right, because you don't even have Wojcik on the list of who's gone for certain. And I just needed to thank you. I just needed to thank you. If we just never say his name again, it can be as if he never existed. So, all right.
But if you say his name 3 times, then he might appear.
He shows up in this fucking room with his dad on his shoulders. That's nice and weird.
We, of course, have 7-foot center Ethan Taylor coming in, who I have very limited expectations for what a freshman center is going to be able to do. And it is always going to come down with the center in particular, but all freshmen, but in particular a center, to how well he defends. And then we've got Julius Avent, who's going to be, I believe, like a 3-4. We need to get a center.
Yeah.
The good news is that if we do have all of those people coming back, you're really only recruiting over Jesse McCullough at the 5.
Yep.
Tom doesn't need to get 3 bodies. He just needs to get 1.
3-body problem, Michael. It's a 3-body problem.
Go spend like you're getting 3 bodies and just get a center.
Also, Jesse McCullough, what? Did he even have 2 minutes in a single game this season? Did he play 2 minutes?
He for sure did, but
I
believe he ended the season on 6, did not play. His coach's decision. I don't think he played the last 6 games.
No, that's what I say. I don't remember any meaningful minutes in the month of January on, but I'm happy to be wrong about that. I'm sure someone will look it up. And I don't care. My point being, huh?
Yeah. And if you're going to hurt his feelings, then I guess hurt his feelings. Like it.
Right. Tell him to go home. Like, that's what I mean. Like, tell him to leave. Go somewhere else. Go play somewhere, my guy. Like, this is the thing that kills me about Izzo, is it like, take some of the psychopathy of Hurley. Get the guys that fit your fucking program, dude. Like, they're not all going to fit your program. Stop it. That's why we're not winning.
Yeah, I mean, he's been 1 player away enough times. This year it was a 2
And it's like, and just my point is, like, it begs the question, does he have a program? Like, this Izzo, and this is where people are like, well, you're and I am insane, but I'm just saying, like, but what's the program, Tom? What are you doing? You can't build a bear. Some of these guys just don't have it. You have to be able to see the latent skill that exists, and maybe he thinks he does. And if that's the case, I guess this is why it shows how good of a coach he is. He can take like these very unburnished, craggly rocks and smooth them out so that we can get fairly deep into the tournament. But you can't win because you're not building a cohesive thing. And the last several seasons have proved this with the sheer number of fucking rotations alone, where we cannot land on a system. I guess that's my point. It's not a workable system. It is a cog of various individuals who he sort of slots around based on his frustration with the performance on the day. I would love to be wrong about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted you again.
I don't just, it was all well said, Alex, all well said. 15-day transfer window this time around, a lot. I believe it's a whole 2 weeks shorter than it was last year, but I don't know how much that matters because this year it's at least coming after the national championship game. So we should probably expect to see a flurry of names entering the portal on Tuesday, but
yeah.
Historically speaking, MSU has moved a bit slower. So just, I think, dear listener, buckle up. It may not come overnight.
We we were going to wait to do this off Grand River, but the president, God bless him, really had several choice quality tweets or whatever they're called on his Truth Social platform. And one of them had to do with the portal, I believe, in some way. No?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah. He said the executive order he signed directs the NCAA to create rules that cap playing at 5 years in total and allow transfers only once without sitting out a season. A second transfer requires a graduate degree. With schools that play ineligible athletes under these rules could risk losing federal funding. This is stupid. And it's stupid because it conflicts with court rulings. So you can't threaten the schools to disobey the courts. And indeed, buried in there is it instructs the NCAA to update its rules, quote, to the extent permitted by law and applicable court orders, end quote. So that paper is now worth less than before the executive order was written because it now cannot be used for something else. Like, it's a completely meaningless order. Or if the president chooses to put teeth behind it, well, then you've created kind of a constitutional crisis over the dumbest thing in the world because you're trying to force schools to disobey court orders. None of it matters. I'm actually more surprised because I don't know who he's doing this for. It doesn't fit neatly in one of the things that where he acts in ways that clearly aren't going to go anywhere, but to appease some sort of constituency of his. I'm not sure who this constituency is. So
I don't know either. I don't even know he has the authority for any of this. This is what's the crazy part to me.
He doesn't.
I'm like, what? So does Congress have to act now? I mean, is this just how he tells Congress what he wants? Like, it used to be that like there would theoretically be a policy team in the White House that would sort of work with peers and and either in the majority or the ranking members' offices. Or is this just sort of this? But now he just does policy by tweet, just good.
Except this was a real executive order.
Yeah, which again, but like he uses executive orders to eliminate birthright citizenship. Yeah, I mean, this is insane. This is an insane, deranged person. This is a deranged lunatic person who's the president of the United States. I mean, honestly, there is no sorry, I'm not going to go into this very long, but I just have to say, I don't care what your politics are, because this has to transcend politics. If at this point people earnestly look at Donald Trump and do not see an unwell person, it is they who are deranged, because the number of people on like any ideological of all ideologies looking at this person and going, this is just so, I don't know how to say it other than deranged. It's insane. It's I mean, on a flat level, it's unusual. It's so flagrantly unusual and consistently unconstitutional. But this idea that you can just legislate sports like this, I mean, the fact that on Easter, you would have this tweet that says, "Praise be to Allah." It is offensive to Christians and Muslims. It's just offensive. It's just stupid. It is so stupid. The president of the United States, and can you imagine any other? I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. I'll stop, because I know that's then I know people get angry about it, but I'm just like, it's so crazy to me. It's just wild.
The provision doesn't take effect until August 1st, 2026. Good. So it's an executive order for another day.
That's good.
It's largely the SCORE Act, which is, I believe, I don't think that's Tuberville's, but whatever. It's all dumb. Look, let's mention very briefly the MSU women's gymnastics team ended its season with a third place finish in the regional final in Tempe. Florida and Georgia bested them. Their season ended 24-8 with 9 team scores of a 197 or better. Big in the semifinals, Nikki Smith hit a perfect 10. In MSU's come from behind to advance to the round that they ultimately lost in. But it was it's a good season, but not great. Good, very good season. But obviously, I think they fell a little bit short of where they'd hoped they'd been. Let's finish up off Grand River, Plum, because the other thing is Tom Izzo went on, I believe, Tam Patrick's show and mentioned that Matt Ishbia and he had talked about him taking the Phoenix Suns job, which this is a pattern now with our billionaire alums.
Yes, it really, really is. They don't give a fuck about the school. Let's be explicit about that.
And also, like, if someone got mad about Plum's rant about politics earlier, then just remember this: if the fact that gas being $1 more per gallon doesn't bother you, or any of the other things, just remember that rich people don't give a fuck about you.
Yes.
And the proof of it is that people who supposedly care about Michigan State have routinely attempted to take Tom Izzo away.
Well,
stop.
Just
stop.
gonna say, maybe
you don't believe
to
that.
Do us a favor. No, I don't believe it, but I'm just saying, the thing is, he's the one that contemplated it. I don't think he took the Cavs offer really seriously because LeBron wouldn't talk to him, it sounds like, based on the Dan Patrick digest that I read. Dan Patrick, by the way, looked awful in the still that I saw from that conversation. He looks like fucking Letterman after Letterman lost the Late Show. It just like turned into Santa Claus and just godforsakenly bad, ruddy and bad. So
I think he's retiring in 2 years.
Well, maybe wants to consider. He looks retired, so God help him. But that notwithstanding, no, I was surprised by. So I was surprised by LeBron not talking to him, which of course because he was leaving the Cavs to go to Miami. Okay, hot dog. And that was what got Izzo to say no to that. But it sounds like he actually considered the Suns opportunity with a little bit more fidelity. And this is interesting to me. This is a man who's 70-something years old.
Right. I don't know how serious is this. I
can't imagine it was. Talking? It shouldn't have been. If it was, I have questions on Tom Izzo's acuity. I've got real questions. That's not a good decision, Tom. You have a whole life, a 40-plus year life you have made for yourself in East Lansing.
And the thing is no one here would understand it. I don't think anyone, like, if he had left after the national championship, people, I think, would have understood. But it's been 25 years since then.
Yeah.
Like, buddy, what are we doing? Anyway, so I think eat the rich. Billionaires don't love you. They'll never save you. Fuck Matt Ishbia. Anything else?
I think you said it well.
Well, I grab another beverage. Do you want to talk about your favorite place to eat that's maybe in a bridge to mid-Michigan sort of situation?
I really wish that my Easter had gone differently, and that I'm not even sure if they were open today, but that they would have been open today, and I could have gone to Mama's Mercantile and Eatery for my Easter provisions. Because God knows they would have had the best kind of at-home cooking you could demand. Listen, if you live in Washington, and I know some of you fuck asses do because you're out here trolling us and we're falling for it and taking the bait because God knows we can't. If you live in Washington, though, and you haven't gotten your ass over to Grass Lake, how dare you? How very dare you? Take the Clear Lake Road exit, go north. You can't go more than 1/10 of a mile before there it will be on the left-hand side of the road. It is easy on, easy off highway access. And let me tell you, they've got good food. Well, not all, but I'm sure mostly locally sourced ingredients, Michigan sourced ingredients. Their pizzas are to die for. We rave about the burgers. I wonder what kind of Easter dishes they would have made. something delicious, I'm sure, with ham in it. We're not a big Easter ham family, but a lot are. I have to imagine that they would have had quite the ham fueled Easter dishes, but don't quote me on that, because again, I don't know if they were open. They were open. Thank you, Susan. God bless America. And let's praise Allah again for that, that real gift, that culinary gift. Anyway, if you haven't gotten over to fucking Mama's yet,
they've got deviled eggs there all the time.
Oh, God knows. And those, are delicious. Listen, they're geniuses with food. They're just fucking good. So go eat them up. Tell them we sent you. Can't write. Take 10% off your bill. Or on days we win the national championship, they pay you to eat with them. All right.
All right. Let's do these social media questions and get out of here, shall we? First up, listener Mike Jones. Is anyone else just fucking miserable right now?
Oh, God.
I mean, we didn't even talk hockey, and we're not going to. We've given Michigan enough airtime.
That's right. That's right.
But I'm not well. The good news is, if it happens, soon as it happens, it is a new season.
Yep.
And it's our chance to get another one. And the thing is,
it'll be good for the Big Ten, we'll say to ourselves.
As much as we may be critical of Tom, I do think he's trying really hard to get back there. And I do think so long as he's our coach, we have a shot.
Oh.
So.
All right. I'll take it. I think it's good. Yeah.
Last up from Mike Jones says, congrats to Josh Kennedy on winning the group. This would be for the can't read, can't write bracket. Josh, I don't know that we know you, but congratulations.
Whoa. We don't know Josh Kennedy, one of my best friends.
Well, he doesn't ask questions on the pod, so.
Well, that should change. He's a Subaru driving ordained public health person. Listen, I couldn't love Josh Kennedy anymore if I tried. And we're high school friends. And
you both have Subarus?
We both have Subarus. The guy he is a mensch. And when I say that, well, you'll see him this weekend. You'll see him this weekend, and we'll congratulate him in person. For now, we're going to doff our cap to you, Josh Kennedy, despite the fact you didn't have Michigan State winning the Natty, and shame on you for that. It is one of the few things we will hold against you in this life.
As fellow Subaru owners, do you guys have a special wave to each other or anything?
We show each other our vaginas, and that's the thing we do.
Great.
So,
secret handshake. Next up, Jess Sip. Who has the most potential to make a massive leap in the offseason? Carr, Scott, or Ward?
Well,
I think it's got to be Ward.
I was going to say Ward. I think it's Ward. Massive leap. I don't think I'm looking at Carr for massive leaps. I'd like a little bit more discipline, I think, but there's not anything there that's massive.
Consistency to Carr.
Yeah. And again, I think Jordan Scott has some of the pieces. So again, I don't know if it's massive. I think I need to see refinement. I need execution and delivery, but I think he knows the X's and O's. I think Ward for me is the question mark. I think that there is some real upside here to this kid.
Well, and if he goes from I believe sub 50% free throw shooter to a 75% free throw shooter, you will be one happy camper. Can we lock that in right now that there's degrees of development, and next year you're going to commit to sanity because you'll appreciate where he came from?
I should. Can we ask, is whatever agentic AI is listening to this in the future, just retain this factoid, please? Thank you.
You mean Jason Fry?
Yes, Jason Fry.
Next up, Jason Fry. If U of M wins the championship tomorrow night, help me find joy. I'm seriously struggling as an MSU fan. The hockey, men's hoops, women's hoops, and gymnastics teams had very good to excellent seasons, but seeing U of M have elite seasons is really zapping my joy. Am I just being a whiny little bitch? You
are, but so are we. And so you're in good company. The thing is that we can't, if it wasn't Michigan, We would be very happy right now. And that's the thing you have to remind yourself. You can't prove the counterfactual. If this was Montana State about to win it all, we'd be like, good for them.
We wouldn't care.
We wouldn't give a fuck. If it was Duke, we'd just be like, fucking Duke. But, it would be what it was. And we would be happy that we had the experience that we had. It's hard. But again, just remember, this is the thing I want everyone to remember. This, and I'm saying this for my benefit more than anyone else's. Let's be really explicit about that. Michigan is a culturally broken place. It is bereft of principle. It has no moral integrity. It hires and then runs into the ground and mentally destabilizes coaches and people affiliated with it. It is a program rife for cheating. And while it gets talented people because it can pay to bring talented people in, they are the people who claim to be the leaders and the best with zero humility and even less, if you can imagine the possibility, self-awareness for their own inability to measure up to the standard that they seem to pretend to set for themselves. And so while they are successful in these ways that we also aspire to, they have to eat the cell phone by the virtue, I should say the lack of virtue that they bring to the process. Consistently, it is the one thing that we can always count on a Michigan man to do, which is to win at all costs and to sacrifice himself in the process. And so we've got to take it on the chin. And yes, that comment alone is more evidence of me being that whiny little bitch. But you're in good company, Jason Fry. All right, next up, Thomas Zambiasi. Michael, how do we as a fan base advocate for using our resources to do appropriate roster management without turning into money worshipers like our neighbors in the fake woke city of Ann Arbor? Is it as simple as not gloating about cash, not tampering, and respecting the soul of college hoops as a sport?
Ooh. Well, it's not like we're poor over here is the thing. I think if I look back at things, it's what's frustrating is Tom's belief in the development of people, and at times he's been a year off. And so, what will Divine Ugochukwu be next year? I don't know. He might be pretty good. Jordan Scott, we certainly are optimistic will be really good. But Trey Fort was the best two guards you could bring in? Really? Because you didn't want to hurt people's feelings because you paid him more or paid somebody more than a current player? I don't know, man. I know I think this is maybe a testament to their youth. But people make more money than other people, and that happens. And people who are more junior than somebody can make more money, in the workplace. I know managers who have had to pay people who work for them more money than they make. This is just part of how things go. And so this idea that we're going to upset people because you decided to pay a transfer more, because it is true, by the way, what we're seeing in the transfer portal is true of the professional world. And I think everybody knows this, that if you want a real raise, you need to leave your job. If you don't get it on the way in, you're not getting it on the way up. And so that's why people leave jobs, is they go and they collect experience, and they're then worth more money somewhere else than they are at their present employer. And it's a really sick cycle, and I don't know that that's the way it should be, but it is the way it is. And so this idea that somebody came in and got a raise, I don't know. I'd also ask any of these guys, are you A, poorly compensated, and B, do you want to win a national championship? There's an idea.
Yep.
So I don't know, man. I don't know that this answered your question at all, but I would just say we're not poor, and I don't think you need to be gloating about cash or tampering. And I don't know what soul is left in college sports. I'll say that.
There it is.
So next up from Thomas Zambiasi, Plum, I may be competing against some fellow Spartans next weekend in an Ultimate Frisbee Conference tournament. What's the best bit of niche on-field banter I should do? Asking whether the calf food has gone to shit since they stopped ordering new stuff after spring break, if their coach has more job security than Jake Boss, or if they think they have a better chance of becoming a varsity squad than swim and dive.
Oh, these are really good.
I'd say the same thing about men's lacrosse too, by the way.
Well, as an official, how dare you? I don't think you can, we don't have no advice for you on this subject, Thomas. I mean, I love it. I will say this, my brother, a big ultimate Frisbee person. You're welcome.
You can ask them if, did they like smoking in the botanical garden? That'd be one. Do they miss the smokestacks? Do they know about the gas pumps next to?
And why do they wear soccer cleats? Why haven't they made an ultimate Frisbee cleat? Why is there no shoe company that's dedicated to ultimate Frisbee? There has to be something. The thing with cleats is they're very uncomfortable. But you're running for 90 minutes. I don't know how long an ultimate Frisbee game is. I guess you're kind of running. I don't really know how ultimate Frisbee works. I don't really care to.
Oh, I'm actually surprised. I think you would find it to be a lot of fun. And then you eventually would decide that you wanted to officiate it instead of actually play it.
I talked to my brother about this many, many moons ago. It's self-officiated. It's a gentleman's sport. They officiated it on their own as they go, I believe. They have to call out fouls and things and adjudicate it in real time.
No. I'm just saying that if you went to a park and a pickup game happened, that you would find yourself eventually saying, "Hey guys, why don't I just ref?" Irrespective of what traditions are, you would just say, "Can I ref this?"
Done that before.
Next up, a particular guy, center.
Five. Get 5 5s. 5 5s for the price of 1.
5 for 5. It's
5 for
the
5.
Biggie bag.
5 for 5.
Plum, who's your favorite scientist?
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
It's a good one.
I don't know. Bill Nye. I like Bill Nye. He was a science guy. Do you have a favorite scientist? Is it Watson or Crick?
Marie Curie, maybe?
Poisoned herself inadvertently with radium.
What about Watson and Crick are the double helix, right?
That's Watson and Crick. Yeah, that was the double helix.
I'm with you with deGrasse Tyson, though. I mean,
he's accessible. I like how accessible he is. And he's smart and he's kind of churlish sometimes, but he's funny and he gets it. That I like.
He had a whole bit, I think it was on Colbert, about like if aliens came to where we are.
Yeah.
He's like, he was making the analogy that the difference in IQ between like a chimp and a human is actually quite small.
Yes.
Yet we view them as so much lesser creatures.
Way inferior. Yes.
And so if aliens capable of traversing the cosmos came here, do you think they're interested
in us? We are not even ants to them, unfortunately. Right. This is smart. And I think I had to say this too about my earlier, but and this I think I really like about Neil deGrasse Tyson. He makes it a habit, makes it a point, I think, to go on social media and like people's channels of all political stripes, of all content stripes, he's probably been on some looks maxing fucking guys thing just because he goes anywhere he is invited to go. He would probably come onto this pod. I don't know what the fuck we'd talk about. Maybe the cyclotron.
What do you think his appearance fee is, though?
I don't know. And, I bet if he had 5 minutes or 10 minutes, we should find out. Let's find out. Neil deGrasse Tyson, we should have him come and explain the cyclotron using sports metaphors, and people might tune in for that.
That would listen.
Well,
folks, we don't ask for money.
I haven't got an answer from Stevie Izzo yet, but let's see. Maybe we'll get an answer from Neil deGrasse Tyson on my social media. So
and listeners, if you think that would be fun, we don't ask for money, but if there's an appearance fee, we will be coming to you
we'll need some
for money.
We'll need some help.
Next up from Beth from Upper Shirt Guy. Who will replace Grooch on the pod when you finally get sick of him? Jordan.
His daughter. Yep, for sure. Yep, that's 70%.
And she probably at this age will contribute as much to the pod as he does by way of intellectual thoughts. Next up, Beth Amaro. Plum, is it too late to get Jeff Gillooly to Indianapolis with a belt and a bag of cashews?
I mean, that's the question. And frankly, but who's he focused on? Like, there's so many options. But no, it's never too late. It's never too late for Jeff, Beth. It's never too late for Beth or for Jeff. Beth, Jeff. Last up from Beth. Michael, what does J-Bot do anyway? J-Bat. I always say it wrong. I'm currently blaming him for everything.
I'm currently kind of blaming him for everything too. Unfortunately, it was a no good, terrible sort of end of the season for everyone.
Everything.
So does that fall on but the athletic director?
Well, better have a real first name. Jordy, Jason, Gipley, Juggy Brodeltine.
Nate C is up next. Here's your options. UConn wins its 6th national championship since we last won, or U of M wins.
Oh my God.
I don't care. It's UConn. I don't care. It's easy. It's not complicated. It's UConn.
It isn't complicated, but that is awful.
Well, no Big Ten team has won since we won.
I don't care. I'm just saying that's awful.
Sure.
All right. At least one person who supposedly knows ball routinely says U of M doesn't even care about basketball. If they win a natty, yet don't give a shit about b-ball, what does that say about us, Michael?
So to go back to Beth's question about J-Bat, I do think this is a bit of Tom for sure. It's on him, but also in this particular day and age. Like, if you're worried about, we can't pay, we'd have to pay, we'd have to pay a transfer too much money and that would upset people's feelings. Well, then pay everybody else more money then and make it so their feelings aren't like, this isn't complicated. Call up Dawn and Greg Williams and just be like, hey man, want a natty? Can you spot a guy a natty? Like, yeah. Oh my God. Next up, Munfield Keg. I got nothing, guys, but I'm sure listening will be therapeutic. Well, I don't know that it's been, but
cheers. Yeah. Sorry in advance, my friend.
To Denim Wojcik.
God.
Toast.
I just burped in my mouth. All right, next up, Mamapoleaf. Not a lot of sports to talk about, and things look bleak right now. Is it really about who's holding the cards right now? Or is it about a lot of not nows? Or is it about what could have been done to challenge that power house?
It's the latter. I don't know. It's about all of those things, Susan. All of those things.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed Mama's Mercantile and Eatery, though.
We hope that we. Could you imagine if she had her Easter brunch at Mamapoleaf's Mercantile and Eatery?
I choose to believe that she didn't eat at Mama's Mercantile and Eatery today. She just drove over there to see if they were open.
Yes.
In anticipation of the podcast.
Bought an iced coffee. That'd be good.
Next up from Mamapoleaf, Plum, would having a conversation about how the Big Ten is dominating sports at the national championship level make you feel any better? And if so, rank these beginning with the most impactful for football. College football playoff, high-level coaching, increased financial resources, impact of NIL. I'm not sure that I understand this question.
I don't understand this question, but I so rarely understand any question that, frankly, anyone asks. But certainly Susan, who has a real knack for it.
Maybe it's for us? No.
Let me just say how I think she's intending it, and I hope I'm wrong. I think I'm the one that said earlier, it's good for the Big Big Ten? You know, it used to mean something when we had several, well, 5, I guess, Power 5 conferences, and now we're down to 1 and the SEC. So I don't know really what, you know, it matters. I mean, the fact that it's not the Big Ten, if it's not the Big Ten, it's the SEC. If it's not the SEC, it's the Big Ten. Like, okay, so I'm kind of over that. But I think a completely unrelated question, I think you've just kind of put a third question into the chat sort of convincingly here, which is what matters for football. And I would say that the most important thing for football is increased financial resources. And I think that is more important than getting into the college football playoff. And I'll tell you why. It's because players today they don't care. They only care about getting that bag. It is the only thing they care about. And I think as a society, we've created the conditions, the context for that to be the case, for any number of cultural and socioeconomic realities. I think there's some level of realism, I hope at least, that most of them acknowledge and know that they're not actually going to make it to the pros. And so this is the opportunity that they have. And I get that motivation too. But this idea that Trey Holloman is texting Izzo and being like, I shouldn't have gone, is just such cattywampus bullshit that it's self-evidently, it's a self-own. So, but my point is, and I'll get off that point just to say the finances are where it's at. These players are making decisions based on the availability of financial resources.
Well, and I think maybe if I'm actually understanding the question a little bit better now, I think it might be fair to say that for years and years and years, there were 2 power leagues, really, truly 2 power leagues.
Yeah.
And one of them was cheating and the other one wasn't. And now that we all can spend money,
the
Big Ten is
the Big Ten become ascendant. Yep.
Yeah, because we have incredible alumni bases.
Yep.
Like, you know, so.
Yep. We're not cheating at it.
Last up, Mr. Neurotic Pants, will Tom Izzo's rivalry with Michigan and Michigan's success this year motivate him even more? Will he find something even better and improve somehow? Conversely, is he running a 10 out of 10 and there is no 11?
Can both be true? I don't know. I mean, I don't think he needs, I think I'm going to challenge the premise of the first part. I don't think Izzo needs a drop of motivation. He doesn't need it. He's a psychopath.
Yes.
He is
unwell.
Because at this point, you can't. Tom Izzo is like the most heralded and like has been the biggest letdown in some way. I mean, I love Tom Izzo. It's kind of a hard way to say it, but like, is he not the biggest letdown in fucking college sports coaching? A guy who wins in 2000, like he should have 5 or 6 goddamn fucking belts, rings, whatever. This idea that we're doing this still is nutty. And in the intervening time, UConn has had 6, about to be 6, is wacky and fucked. So no, Izzo doesn't need any motivation. He has all the motivation in the world. I can't think imagine.
About it. He has enough money. He's more than enough money.
Yeah.
He's 70, 71. And he was considering taking the fucking Phoenix Suns job.
Wild.
For what? Because he's insane.
Yep.
So
he's insane.
No, Michigan doesn't motivate him. He just needs to. He needs to get a fucking center.
Yep.
It is that simple, and a real one. Anyway, it's been real. Most of you those of you in the chat are largely U of M fans. Get fucked. Hope you lose. And if you don't, congrats, I guess. But I hope you lose in life. Anyway, right. Plum, it's been a real one. Go green.
Go white.
Also, happy birthday, buddy.